All right, so this is going to be our new park build, but before we talk about this, I have to get some stuff out of the way. Earlier this week, I found out that my close friend and channel collaborator, Eric, passed away. He was in the Rebirth and Dominion Roundtable videos. He was in the Fossils and Archaeology playthrough, the Wormworld Mesozoic Madness playthrough, and the Ark playthrough. So that's been my week. He was one of my closest friends going back to high school, one of the people I've known the longest. And so it's pretty bad to lose him. So, yeah. About the park build, we're doing a alternate universe Jurassic Park. The idea essentially being a readaptation of the novel, kind of a take on like what if somebody else had tried to turn the novel into the movie. So we're going to kind of have some references to both the novel and the movie while skewing closer to the novel and then putting our own twist and spin on things. So what we've started with here is a jungle island randomly generated with a vaguely like extended teardrop shape to kind of reference both the novel and film versions of Nublar. We've started building the park facilities here at the north end. And then we'll extend out going further south and build a whole tour, a river raft sequence, an aviary, and so on. We don't know all the details yet about the circumstances with Eric. There's still things to find out. We have already our facilities put in here, kind of some JP themed ones I picked off the workshop. A nice JP themed hatchery. And of course, just the default visitor center. We got this nice little rocky landing pad here too to kind of echo the waterfall sequence from the movie, but with our own spin on it. In terms of our starting animals, let's look at the expedition map. Oh, actually, we need to talk about mods. So we're playing again with modded difficulty settings. Same ones we had in the last park, but I've cranked up the income tax to like 11. So the income tax is kicking in sooner. It is proportionally stronger. And so we'll see if we can start to balance the economy a little bit better with that. In terms of the research trees, we're going to be playing with house rules on the males and the nests, because I want these to be later, late unlocks. And then for the dig sites, I played around with what we can do here. We can split these up. So I divided these all out into like 2 animals per node, essentially. So yeah, our starting animal is probably Ornithomimus, which is somewhere here. Okay, 5 and 1. So to start with, we need 5 logistics. And we got a generalist at 155. We got a logistics special at 145. I mean, I just want you. I'm not even gonna keep looking. I don't care who else is here. All right, let's get that. It appears that somebody poured Jello in the ocean, maybe? Oh, as the camera moves, it fills in. Oh, I fixed it. What the hell? It's fine. The game is... Don't worry about it. The game is fine. Everything's okay. So, yeah, the population list I'm looking at for the park, we're doing 15 animals. I specifically have the star rating set up for 15 animals and not 17 with the mods. We're kind of combining the park roster and the novel roster a little bit while favoring the novel roster, but we're also swapping out animals. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking the Hypsilophodonts from the novel, which was 33. We're turning that into the Ornithomimid, and then we're using Ornithomimus as the most accurate one. Do I think we could see Carbonemes in JWE3? Probably not, because it's just a big turtle. I don't really see them putting big turtle in the game. So yeah, we'll use Ornithomimus as our stand-in for what was in the novel, Drososaurus and Hypsilophodon, and then we'll use Hypsilophodon as the stand-in for Othnielia. And those two cohabited in this like first paddock here on like the north end of the novel park. So those will be the two animals that are kind of the adapted version of what was in the novel. And once we get both of those in and we start making a little bit of money, we'll look at actually setting up the tour. And then we can talk a little bit about some of the other animals we're putting in. I don't want to reveal the entire roster up front because it's a little funner to see where it goes as we develop. And I'm actually not 100% settled on my roster. Specifically, there's one animal I'm kind of debating with myself what I want to use. Yeah, okay, we'll just talk about that. It's the Dilophosaurus replacement. I haven't decided who I want to replace Dilophosaurus with. Because I'm trying to make this like more paleo-accurate. So I'm trying to stay away from the animals that are very inaccurate, and I'm trying to keep it era appropriate. So nothing discovered after like the early 90s, and that has put me in kind of a weird spot as far as trying to figure out like an appropriate Dilophosaur replacer. I have the initial plan for the animal I want to use. It's just subject to change, essentially. Thank you for the follow on Twitch 066680987878. I appreciate it. What would you like to see if they made a harder difficulty for JWE3? Yeah, I'd like to see a difficulty that's hard. Something where the economy isn't just completely free, which is what we're trying to do right now with the mods we're testing in this park build. All right, 3 genetics, 3 welfare might be good here, this generalist, unless we got a specialist. I think we'll take them. Zophany, is that a real name? It could be. We'll process, and then I think we go dig up the rest of the Ornithomimus, process the second batch all in one go, and then we should still be good to clone. Dig site blocked. I think we change our mind. We delay this, and then we synth with partial DNA instead to get the park profitable, because we are losing money here. Actually, this is a good note to like look for a contract specifically. Amenity coverage, 80% is probably good. Fire a scientist. No.
More guests can mean more.
All right. Quiet, Lambert. Okay, we need one more scientist. So we're grabbing Henry, who has an incredible name. Henry Colstock Cockeram. Welcome, Henry. And that allows us to get the initial wave of Ornithomimus, even with just 87% genome. So we're doing random favorite and random favorite. These are essentially color palettes that evoke the film Gallimimus put onto the Ornithomimus. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do with this park, is like reference film color palettes, reference some of the novel color palettes we know about, like where appropriate. And in some cases, I'm just using the animals that I think look good. So, but in this case, it's specifically to try and like kind of replicate the movie Gallimimus vaguely. And we're not using any males until late game. What I'm thinking here, okay, the rules we're playing with for the nests and the males are the rules I'm thinking of integrating into the mod long term, which is male dinosaurs unlock at 3 stars. And then small nests also unlock at 3 stars, 3.5 for medium, and then large nests are 4 stars. So you can't breed an early large carnivore or sauropod and then just make it breed a lot to like artificially boost your park rating. That is like a late game thing you can use to close out a park. And I think having breeding be a new thing that comes in the late stage of a park is an interesting way to make an endgame park feel different. Because I think the weakest part of like a JWE2 park build was like the last star or the last star and a half or so. Because there just wasn't that much going on. Yeah, Coelophysis will be our scavenger. That's already locked in. Procompsognathus in the novel was a Coelophysoid. We have one Coelophysoid in the game. Pretty simple. And the Coelophysis is not terribly inaccurate or anything. So it should probably be a bit feathery, but it's not. But still, it's fine. Okay, so ideally, we're just going to take all these. We still have $1 million left afterwards. So yeah. We want 33 female Ornithomimus, I think. Or 32 female and 1 male, maybe. Long term, at least. Obviously not right now, but eventually. All right, let's see how this release works on this hatchery here. You know what? That's pretty slick. The gate does actually open.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Pleased to welcome
fruit and a leaf and cover, which they have. And a little bit of wetland, so I think trading some of this out for wetland is good. Okay,
Comfortable dinosaur is
Are
one
you
that's
actually
significantly easier to
mad?
manage.
I
Keeping them
guess.
content should be a priority.
It's not so easy to make them happy, but it's close. Okay, probably just some regular wetland. Should use the cypress a little bit if we're gonna do that. Okay, well, they're settled in, so perfect. Yeah, I thought about not using Tyrannosaurus, but it's too iconic, I think, not to. I'm open, like, this is something you can convince me. You can convince me not to use Tyrannosaurus, but I am currently leaning towards it. All green and white, it looks like. Milkshakes, which bring the boys to the yard. All right. And yeah, the coverage is ticking away, and this is profitable, so let's get the other amenities in here immediately. We'll just put them all side by side for that nice little amenity boulevard look. I'm always okay with that aesthetically. We did drinks, food, and shopping. The Frontier Giga. Isn't Giga like 95 Discovery, though? Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? Do I prefer soft cookie or crunchy cookie? I'm a soft cookie enjoyer. I like a good chewy cookie. That is my preference. Strong preference. I will eat a crunchy cookie, but I will just think, why is this not a soft cookie? This could be so much better. Okay, so I think let's make sure they're all happy. Yeah, they're all happy. The park is almost profitable, maybe. It looks like we have bottomed out. We're not hitting path limitations. It's all just the hotel situation. So, I think I found us a hotel already to use. Maybe. Did I? Luxury family hotel, Hammond's Dream. This is not what I was thinking, but it is certainly an interesting hotel. Maybe this goes later in the park somewhere, because this feels like a crazy one to start with. The actual JP hotel is not bad. I'm gonna look for one that feels a little more interesting. Ooh, that's already not bad. I kind of like the look of just like the combined lodges. Let's pause and I'll do some browsing. All right, this is our hotel. It's a JP Concept Art Safari Lodge hotel. I think I'm gonna put it like. Okay, well, I can't get too far from the power. I think I'm going to put it right behind the amenity there, like literally right next to it. That way the concrete section is kind of by the back. I think that looks reasonable.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And we're profitable.
we've increased the hotel.
And we can get medium amenity already. What was the unlock condition for that? Probably guest in the park? Are you really gonna make the park build? Oh, the weird, the ship post weird park build. We might do that sometime. Okay. First note here: I don't think medium amenities should unlock yet. So medium amenities, maybe at 1 star specifically, because this feels way too soon to just immediately go medium. So we're gonna treat this as if this was a 1-star unlock, and we're gonna test the idea of that. So that's just not going to actually get switched out. Okay, and then our fossils did come in. So why don't we finish this? Actually, hold on. Let's look at this. Operations buildings. Staff center is 3. That's core upgrades. Park teams are already all available. So we could do power. 500k is a little too much. I need staff center before I rest, but I don't really need to rest yet. I think we just got to get our cars put in here. Start with the response facility. We have a park era 1. I think the park era 1 is good enough. I like the tower in the corner anyway, so I think we'll just go with it. So I put some of our other park facilities back here, but this should probably be a little closer to the actual paddocks. So I'm thinking maybe we just tuck it back here somewhere, kind of in the woods. I didn't mean to be unpaused there. Oh, yeah, and there's income tax kicking in already. So this is the modded early income tax. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe... Can I make a consistent curve? And then we have like this little... Yeah. Something like that. Next question is, how do I align this with the connecting path? Maybe I just do like that. Yeah, we do it like that maybe, and then we delete, and then we replace it. Nope, it's still crooked. RIP. It's not that simple. What is this? Why is it doing weird? Is it because it's trying to connect to that piece maybe? That's not perfect, but maybe good enough to work. That side's much better. That worked out pretty well. This one got a little weird. I might be able to redo it. Maybe we do like this. And then we can do a little curve. No. Maybe we do like this. Then that. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's get a ranger post in the pen. Get a ranger team assigned. We can get a picture. And that is still 800k. Okay. How much does it cost for these? 100, 250. So we could do staff. I think we should do staff building. So we do that on you. And then maybe I go do a Hypsilophodon dig. 364k is a little rough. I think we're gonna wait. Let's process these fossils. Get a second batch of Ornithomimus out maybe first. After the other stuff is done, I guess. And I could have put my cheaper research person on the task, but I forgot I had him. My bad. I'm gonna find actually, let's just look at this. How do we feel about park era maintenance? Okay, I mean, very similar. I'm down. I like the towers. So I'm thinking they all go here together, kind of. So probably park maintenance, like, over on this side. So let's smooth this out. What if they dig up the raptors in Cedar Mountain? Because of this nutties, I thought it was Deinonychus, but it could be Utahraptor. I mean, there's an argument for that, too. Especially, like, even ignoring the location angle, just, like, nobody knows what they're cloning until it's actually hatched. And then if they clone an animal that didn't exist, they're not gonna, you know, recognize it as a different animal. But I kind of want to use Deinonychus for our raptor, specifically to reference the whole fan explanation that, like, you know, it's Velociraptor Anteropus in the movies, blah, 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 even though that's not really the right way to look at it. Kind of a like a reductionist take on why the raptors are the way they are in the movies. It's not wrong, it's just the truth is simpler. Velociraptor just sounded cool. That's really all it is. Plus, you know, Deinonychus is newer and it's a chance to use it. Can't tell in the woods how this one really looks. I feel like it's weird that this one doesn't have the tower, but I don't think I'm going to bother looking for a different one. I think it's good enough. All right. And now we just got to accumulate a little bit more money so we can hatch another round of ornithos. Lifespan is turned on. We could consider this next batch giving them higher lifespan. It's actually a pretty small financial investment. I don't hate the idea of this. I think we will do this. Okay, and we should grab a vehicle and probably take a photo. Perfect photo.
Assuming control.
All right, 5 eggs this time. 3 long-lived. Okay, and that leaves us with 200K. No money, because they probably spent the money refueling or repairing something. Good thing I took those photos. We would have been technically in the red temporarily, but wait a second. Oh shit, I never did this. I thought I did this, but we didn't have the 3 because shit. Oh well. You know what? I will say this feels a lot more like JWE2 right now.
One, not on behalf of the conservation sector, but as a
Ooh,
personal
perfect.
favor.
Release an Orthomimus. Huge contract. This pacing wise is a lot closer to JWE2 now that we like cranked it, the income tax made it kick in earlier. Which I like. I like having a second to breathe and not just stepping on the gas through the entire goddamn park. Although my money is really struggling. It's ping-ponging pretty bad as the maintenance teams do things, but this will get us pretty firmly boosted. Or a storm will come and completely mess that up. Okay. Okay, hatchery upgrades already unlocked too. Hot take. Hatchery advanced equipment should probably be a late unlock. This was very early in JWE2 as well. It just kind of became like a staple. Like we just always buy this and there's no thought to it. I think this should be like honestly 2 stars maybe. I think it's interesting having the dice roll for how many animals you get. Was this 6 wait, what unlocked was 6 species in 2? There was something that unlocked by getting 6 animals. Was it actually this? It might have been. I don't remember. Well, we can look at doing it at 2 stars, or we can look at copying the JWE2 thing over, or even like keeping the condition from 2, and then maybe cranking it up slightly more. I don't know. But either way, this is too soon. Half a star is 1 species. This is an insane thing to get right now. So we're not going to research this. We'll do this later as well, just as a rule. Okay, let's get these guys comfortable before the storm messes our shit up. So they've expanded the territory into the expanded paddock, so that's great. Some leaf, some fruit, some wetland, and they don't need any more trees, so I can do a little more like that. Okay. And then make sure that that is covering everybody. Yes. All right, well, let's see what the storm does to us. Hey, Muto, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the comfort definitely does potentially make things worse with advanced equipment, but that should kind of be part of the difficulty, right? Like, depending on the animal you choose to start with, it might make some sense that you have to work a little bit more to make it work. Tuberculosis. It was confined space that needs 6 species in Evo 2. That sounds right. I think that's correct. I knew it was early stuff that we were, you know, constantly tunneling for. One of those. Maybe it was like 1.5 stars for that. Okay. Yes. Tornado jump scare. Oh, I probably should, you know, open the actual shelter, huh? At least the tornado had the common decency to, like, spawn, you know, there, as opposed to, like, back here and, like, wipe, like, straight through the paddock or something.
Bothering the animals. We need to figure out what.
What could it be? Maybe it's the tornado.
Panic isn't a fun thing for any living creature to feel.
Yeah, humble is probably going to be a staple for sure. Maintenance should get to this themselves. I shouldn't have to do anything. Waiting for these markers to disappear. That'd be great. I'm always concerned. Okay, it went up. Why did it go up? Is there another breach? Oh, over here? Yes. He's doing it, though. Okay. Are we secure? 6, 5, it's counting down. Okay. Great. Okay, so we do have enough money now to do Hypsilophodon. I could also consider power. Let's get Hypsy first and then do power. Yeah, why not? So yeah, this is another area we're flagging here for modding. A single outbreak of tuberculosis gets me the vaccine, which requires no effort to do this. This needs to be more intensive, both in terms of like the welfare need, because 3 is incredibly generous to never have to deal with tuberculosis again, and just the unlock conditions need to be better because 5 animals is way too easy to do. This is baby mode for sure. All right, so that is definitely a change we'll make. Do we think 6 appeal is achievable? I'm gonna take it. I don't know if that's what is our actual appeal score like. What is the total appeal? 297. Huh? $322, species target is -25. Where is it getting 6? Oh, percent. It's percentage. The contract's bugged. It doesn't tell you when you look at the preview that it's a percent. I was like, am I really having a penalty that puts me at 6 appeal? Now I understand why it was weird. All right. Let's make sure we finish Ornitho. Actually, why would we do that? We want to breed a new animal. So let's do the Hypsy. I'm going to process a second batch before we clone the Hypsy, and I'm not... Well, let's see if it's done. Okay, it is complete, so we actually have all the fossils anyway. Perfect. Okay, so these are batch size 1 to 4, so that might cause a few problems. We might have to do a few rounds of these. Socially, yeah, 4 plus adult. Kind of a bad early animal in that regard, but we're still going to go for it. These are stand-in for the novel's Othnielia. Even though Hypsilophodon was also in the park, we're just going to specifically take the Othnielia population and apply it to the Hypsilophodon. I have picked some darker colors here. That way they meld really well with a red, because the Othies are kind of just generically green. And that's kind of boring. And so I didn't want to just go with like green Hypsies, because these guys got some fun colors. So I just picked something that I thought would be kind of fun. So we'll do Pelophylax with a selection of kind of dark browns and grays. I think we can throw all the lifespan we want at this. That seems fine to me. And I can do 1 clutch before the generalist needs the rest. So I probably should get a staff center in. Now, we have the generic Jurassic staff center, which isn't bad. This, I feel like, is a good opportunity to find something more interesting in the workshop, though. So I think I'm gonna... Oh, I have a worker village staff center already queued up. That's a look. I don't think it belongs in this park, though. Let's look for some more off video, and I'll let you know what I find. Okay, 3 eggs is almost a clutch. So let's hatch these 3. Then we'll synth up a second batch and get those ready to go so we can release them all at once. At least they're cheap. I do need to rest you, actually. So, yes. Oh, yes. And on that note, the staff building is an InGen boarding house, specifically. That's what it's described as on the workshop. Of course, referencing probably more of a reference to like trespasser aesthetics, I would think, with this like tiled roof. But I liked it. I like the tower up back. I think it's a good look. It should feel a little homey, since it is, like where the staff are living or whatever conceptually. So I think it's good. We're gonna put a point into coal stock on welfare, so that we're not stuck waiting on this Hypsy for so long. We can get this batch going right now. And then we're ready to go when the person is back. Yeah, 1 minute. The rest is over too. We're replacing the appeal contract. It's not great. Increases scientist training to 2. Shit. Ornitho drinking should be pretty easy. That's worth quite a lot. Ooh. Male population to 5. I wonder if these are tied to the research. Right? I wonder if this contract will not pop up if male research is not unlocked, because it is a node. Here, let's grab this quick. Because, this is under, enclosures? Is it? No, it's under genetics. It's under genetics, I remember. Yeah, here. Because male dinosaur synthesis, even though this starts unlocked, it is specifically a research node. So it's actually really easy to mod this to have a star requirement. I've actually written the mod already. I just didn't bother installing it. So I do wonder if that contract is specifically connected to this research node being completed. And that will just take care of itself if I delay that to 3 stars. Which I hope it will. Alright, Ornitho contract completed already, right
You ever
as
heard of a
the
keystone species? It's
rest
one that
is
has
being
a
completed.
disproportionate impact on their ecosystem compared to other organisms. You, my friend, are this company's keystone species.
Thank you, Dr. Luis Baldera. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Okay, moment of truth. What we got? 2. Okay, 5 is a perfectly fine starting roster. Let's get them going. I put 2 people on that. I didn't need to. I don't know what compelled me to do that, but at least they'll be quick. I think we can release the first wave already. I don't see any reason to wait the minute. I like the little green under the neck. I didn't even really notice that initially. Part of it might be the lighting here in the shade that makes it look that way. But,
We are pleased to welcome
why did that zoom me way the hell out? That was weird. Okay. Ground leaf, water, and wetland. You should be completely good to go here. This should actually be perfect for cohab. They just need to figure it out. Maybe they'll need more wetland. Handler injured. I sure wish I could see how much money I have right now. That actually would really be good to know. Why does the UI not tell you how much money you have? Oh well. Okay, we're actually too rich. How much was that? That contract wasn't crazy. I think we gotta crank the income tax up a little bit more, maybe. I don't know. It felt good initially. I'll make a note. Crank it. Crank up income tax, question mark. All right, number 2. 17 seconds out. 210. Go.
complete.
Go faster. Zoom. Maximum speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Hypsilophodon to
Oh, you actually need more water? Oh, because you didn't go to the water. That's your fault. That's not my fault. That's you. Well, okay. We'll get a ton of cash. So, animal number 3. I'm thinking we talked about it already. We might go with our Deinonychus. Because this is probably the other animal that goes on the north end here. And then after that, we can start working on the tour. Let's save maybe the 60k. I don't... it's probably worth saving the 60k. It's pretty negligible, really. Let's not do it. I'm sure we can find some other research task here to knock out. In fact, yeah, paths we should do. Paths, I think definitely we don't want to delay that any more than it's already delayed. I always found path capacity to be more of an annoyance than anything. Okay. So part of the reason this one specifically is so easy to do the inoculation is because tuberculosis itself is like the first early game disease in a way. Because this one we can already see is harder to research. I wonder if these are actually coded to occur in a specific order. Like, is tuberculosis always the first disease in your park? Because these feel like they're progression rated. Which is a choice. We need to get power now, too. And this guy... yeah, I don't know if I actually have anything to do with him. Not really. Okay, I mean, I probably could have set him on the task then. Alright, power is a 7 logistics, so we have 2 that we can put on that. We definitely put cheaper on this. And then paths after this, upgrade the path network. And then tours, so we get the tour started. But maybe we do tours later. That's so quick. That felt really quick. Paths. Sure, you do that. You go on a rest. Let's see what the dig requirement is for Deinonychus 4. and 4. Okay. And I do have a point on you, but I don't think it's worth it when I have the logistics person, so we'll just wait. I guess we grab a contract. Medium amenities, H genetics, disease-free. We'll do disease-free. All right, we're grabbing our tour vehicles here. And then, yeah, that'll be done at the same time the rest is done. We can start doing Deinonychus expeditions. This is our geothermal power plant. Right next to the bunker with this very interesting lava aesthetic they've managed to achieve somehow with modular building. I believe there's lamps that are shining on concrete that makes it look like a pool of lava, but it's actually pretty impressive visually how convincing that is. Very interesting. And this guy, slightly too close. He's clipping in a little weird. Oh, that is not moving all as one. Well, never mind. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't look that closely at this part. Okay, let's grab some Deinonychus fossils here before we wrap up today's video. We could get the tour started. I want to put the tour in somewhere near here. It doesn't necessarily need to be like right on the visitor center. Also, this is actually working pretty well, this aesthetic of having the path like right here, because the people actually do go on the concrete next to it. This actually does feel like more of a little like proper boulevard, especially with these people sitting on the benches here. So I kind of like that. This worked out pretty okay. Decent. Well, actually, maybe we end the day with this inbound storm, because apparently there's an inbound storm. Let's get that open. Doesn't seem like there'll be a tornado? Fingers crossed. It's looking good. All right. And there's disease free. So yeah, the tour vehicle, only park era. We're going to do the gate. The gate is iconic, even though it's not, you know, it's a movie thing. We'll still go for it. So I could put it like here. I think there's enough space for the car to wrap around there. I could even have the car like cross the roadway. I could do it like this. Have the car like on either side of the path. I don't know. We'll worry about that next episode, I think. Let's let the storm finish. I think I will clear this, though. MVU on their way. A Velociraptor bird cage? Like in the park? You know, that is something we've never done, like, using the aviary as an enclosure for other animals. It's always something we could do at some time, but maybe this isn't the place. Avian pox. Alright, that's a new thing to do then. Can I get a better photo? Just financially? Holy fuck! What was that sound? What was that death scream? Is that a Hypsilophodon? Or an Ornitho? Like that sounded like a horrible shriek. This saves me a small amount of money. Okay, 30. For some reason, that's not where my eye was going. I was looking for the money cost above that. Yeah, we might as well do the cheaper research guide. No reason not to. Okay, well, let's check out our fossils, and then I think we'll wrap it up there. All right, first batch gives us a fish and gives us 3. Let's get these processing. Let's rest the logistics person, and then actually we should remind ourselves of the unlock condition for the upgrades. Yeah, that was like crazy. Control center. All the storm defenses. I think storm defense being early unlock is good. I like that. The expedition stuff is here. That's 5 species. I don't think this is too bad of a early unlock set. We should do this too. but we can do that next time.